hey, just so I know, what is the best, I'm going to do the cybersecurity risk assessment for you. In your mind, what's the best case scenario of what happens here today?
Well, obviously they should say something along the lines of, well, you find my system's in perfect health. There's nothing wrong. My current provider is doing everything that they're supposed to.
Great. So thanks, Steve. So best case scenario you're saying is there's no risks, everything is good, and we leave with a kind of a squeaky clean report. Agreed. If that doesn't happen, what should we plan to do?
That's a really great question. I don't know. I guess it depends on what the problem is.
Okay. And I'm asking this now so that I don't want you to feel sort of bait and switched, but let's be very candid. I sell managed cybersecurity services, right? If I find an issue that you feel your current vendor should have detected, do you want me to tell you how I would have solved it and put together a management proposal or not?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. So it's worth, if there are problems you feel like they should have been detected, it's worth us going and putting a proposal together. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, final question. What if my proposal is way more expensive than your current one?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it really depends on how much more expensive.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't even know what you're paying now, right? So,
Right.
and I don't know what I would charge you. I guess my question is, if I gave you a proposal that would solve your issues, but it was more money, is it even worth showing you the proposal, or should I just shred it and you're not going to pay extra?
Man, that's awesome, Brian. That's awesome. Cause now you're asking them budget without saying how much are you spending,
Yeah,
how much are you willing to spend. You're not asking any of that, but you're still getting the information.
exactly. Now let's go to the role play, Steve. Let's say you're the buyer and you don't want to pay any extra. So I say, okay, what happens if my proposal is more money?
Probably would just stick with who I'm using now.
Got it. Okay. So I've got to meet or be lower than your current price in order for me to have any chance of winning your business. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's $1 extra, not worth it. The dollar amount is the key thing. I feel a little bit like you're asking me to play darts with a blindfold on. So I'm happy to spend the 2-3 hours of putting together a proposal, but I'd rather not go through it if it's going to be a waste of everyone's time. Are you comfortable just revealing what the target is?
Yeah, sure. We spend $12,000 a month right now for managed services.
Okay. I'm not sure that's possible for me.
You don't even know yet.
Yeah. I don't even know.
That's the best part, Brian. You have no idea what your quote's going to be.
Right. And in this, I'm assuming maybe I have a general user count in this case. But
Sure.
if I say, oh yeah, 12,000, yeah, I'll be more. How about we do this? Our scopes are, I'll say it this way. The fact that you're only paying 12,000 probably means the scope of what I do and what they do are not the same, because my tools would cost more than that. Are you comfortable giving me, you can redact the logo or whatever, that's fine, but could you just give me a copy of your current contract or invoice so I know kind of what I'm up against?
Yeah, sure. That seems reasonable.
Cool. I appreciate it. Okay. Now let's schedule this assessment. So I haven't even done the assessment and I've got authority, need, and timing more or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you could do that. You could use this exact formula to do anything. By the way, if we find an issue and it's pressing, I know I'm not trying to ask you too many hypotheticals here, but when would you want to realistically act?
Well, my contract with my current provider is up in 6 months. I'm just doing due diligence right now to, determine if we're going to stay with who we're with, or if it makes sense for us to, move on to someone new.
Okay, 6 months. Don't you feel like it might be more fair to give your current vendor a chance to find any of the things they're missing?
Well, I mean, I signed a 36-month agreement.
Okay.
Don't you feel like I've given them 30 chances to fix all this?
Here, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense to me. If we find something, it's urgent, and you feel like this is something they should have observed, Is there any world where we could at least execute a letter of intent, a non-binding letter of intent or something that we've got a shot at winning your business in 6 months?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're not coming in 5 months early.
That makes sense.
So that's how I would handle that.
I like.
Are these helpful? Instead of a product review, you just get real scenario role plays.
Oh, this is awesome, man. I feel like we have just set up. Yates Networks is somebody who watches like religiously, man, and he's watching us right now. I feel like you've just given him the fuel to go out and make a new sale to a larger company than he normally supports within the next 90 days.
Good.
Yates, that's a challenge, sir.
Yates, hit me up.
I-
Call me when you send me a DM when you close one or when you use one of these questions.